the Jalili from a long line of Jalili, so welcome back people. And this vid here is going to be about what's going on at Arsenal, new season, the signings, and yeah, how I feel as a fan right now still. We will mostly start off at the first place, the most obvious place, and that's the transfers. And I'm going to do them in the other way round to when they were announced. So we're going to start off with Rice, Timber, then Havertz, because to me it's all about Rice. Rice made sense in all the ways, and just like I said in the last video, I was busting bare nuts, and whichever one lands, the birth certificate's already been written, and I already know if it's a girl, double barrel, Amira, Rice, Jalili. If it's a boy, Abraham, Rice, Jalili. Yeah, me double barrel names, they've been set. Mrs. accepted the thing. Yeah, me. So those nuts have been bust. So let's just wait and see. Rice, baby. Did we overpay? Yes, we did. But it's called the British English tax. It's not the first time, it won't be the last time. It's happened to us with Ramsdale. We should have got him for about 20 mil. We ended up paying him 30 odd. We should have got White for about 35 mil. We ended up paying what, 50 odd mil. Rice we should have got for about 80 mil, 90 mil. But we ended up paying him for 105 million. Arsenal Football Club. I did not see this coming, boy. Arsenal spending 100 mil on one player. Times, how far we have come. How far have we come? And see, this is what I mean, the owners, we have to kind of give it to them. They're slick still. They waited, what, was it 2018, 2019, or was it even 20? I can't remember. They bought 100% of the club. They owned 100%, and then they put, my man put his son in charge, and since then we've been kind of going in the right direction. The first window was kind of, it was 50-50, some good and bad, and then putting Arteta in, we've been going in the right direction, do you get me? Like, so we can't really get mad, but we can, because we had to deal with all of this shit for what, 19 years, 18 years, and potentially more years if we don't win that next season. We're in the right race, so 100 mil on one player, damn. And right now, I think he's a replacement for Xhaka. Xhaka's gone, so Partey, Rice, Odegaard, I think will be our main midfield right now. Like, it's the only thing that makes sense for me right now with what's going on. There's been talks about Partey going. Then if Partey does go, I can see him dropping in that role there, Rice, and then maybe we go and sign a Lavia or a Simmons. Do you get me, to replace that position there? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I can see that happening still, but until that does happen, Rice is here. I think that will be our strongest midfield. And even when you look at the backup, we've got El Nini to play that Xhaka role. We've got Jorginho to play that Partey role, and then after we put Emil Smith role or Vieira in that Odegaard role for now. That would be like the shadow to that first team. We were talking about Partey, Rice, Odegaard. That's not too bad. Like, if Partey goes, if Jorginho goes, we get a Lavia. Even a Caicedo is still out there. Like, for us to spend 100 mil, let's spend another 100 mil, yeah, because we could make some money back this season. We've got assets, and we'll get into that near the end of the video, the outgoings and potential outgoings. But we've got assets now, so I can see us raising another 100 mil. Come on, get a Kai cheeky. Yeah, but we ain't been wankers like that in the transfer window before, like where other clubs have done petty shit. Yeah, me buying up all the talent. I think it's our turn, man. If we could do it, why not? Yeah, me. And then even like underneath that, we still got what's his name, Lokonga, Vieira, and even Patino. Like, what's going on there? Like, the midfield is kind of stocked. Like, if players go, players can move up. Other players can play various positions. Like later on, when I get into the front line, you'll see what I'm talking about. But like, I think we will have enough with Rice coming in. We will have enough for next season. That's League Cup, Champions League, FA Cup. Like, we should have enough in that midfield. If we can start rotating and keeping them fit, mix and matching, I think there's enough now. Whereas if there was no Odegaard or if there was no Partey, we're kind of stuck. Whereas now, if one or even two of them drop out, I think we should have enough now. With the style of play, players being there 1 year more now, with the additions. You get me? I think that's calm. Like rice, baby. I can't. I'm so gassed. I've been wanting this for like 3 years. Like, and for it to come off, it shows how far we've come as a club. Like, it's mad. It is mad out here. Rice, I can't wait for the season to start. Gassed. And then our second signing, Timber, you know. Last season I kept talking about chopping wood. The season's a long season. It's a marathon. Chopping wood. And now we've got Timber. Hopefully this time next season you're going to hear me singing Timber. The league done dropped. Yeah, we hopefully Timber. This guy coming in, yeah, with the first team centre back, first team backline that we had last season, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, White. That's solid. When Saliba fell out, and then Tomiyasu in the same game, that was it for us. But Saliba was the big one. Once he dropped off, once he got injured, we lost the league to ourselves. It was nothing to do with Man City. We did it to ourselves. The mentality, the players, we wasn't ready. That's how it didn't happen. You get me? And Saliba was a big part of that. But now with Timber coming in, White can move centre back, Timber can come in right back. You get me? That team there, Zinchenko, Gabriel, White, and Timber could potentially be our first Premier League starting lineup. That lineup there can beat a lot of teams. And then even Saliba dropping into the second, so say, team, like of Tierney, Kivior, Saliba, Tomiyasu. That team there can back up most teams in the league as well. Like, so it's mad. Like, I don't think that will happen straight away, Timber coming in, but those 8 players that I mentioned as a backline, boy, if they could get managed right, meaning game time, fitness, all of that, I don't think there's no excuses. No excuses. We have a strong backline. Any way you mix and match it, take out Kivior, take out Gabriel, put in Kivior, take out Saliba, put in White, put White right back, Timber right back, Tomiyasu left back, centre back, right back. You get me? Take out Zinchenko, bring in, what's his name, Tierney. It's mad. Like that. I'm really happy like with our defensive quantity now, the number of players we've got, and they're all at a decent standard. Like, when was the last time we had this? Like, we know the league's been hard. It's been hard for like 19-20 years for us. But whenever we had this kind of squad, I don't think we've ever had the squad like this. Even in our invincible times, we didn't have a squad like this. We had a great first team and a good bench. But now, the squad's getting done still. Like, Timber adds to that. And I think once he settles in, because obviously he's a foreign player, you know, there's that settling in period. He might not hit the ground running, but if he does, I can see him being in the first team, and then I can see both of them inverting. So we have like two centre backs, Rice with the two Zinchenko and Timber next to him, and then we have four, and then one or just five just attacking. Yet we just interchanging however they want. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. Like normally we go into a back three and invert one, but if we've got enough certain games where people play the low block, we can then overload it like that, plus protect ourselves, because I think with Rice sitting in front of that defence, do you remember the old boss, not even old, the Barcelona team with PK and Puyol, man, Victor Valdez in goal? If you watch a couple of the games, the way they played was all out attacking, so they always got caught on the counter attack. But those three managed. It didn't matter if it was 5 against 2, 3 against 2. Somehow they cut out the cross, or they did enough for the team to come back, and we're gonna see a whole lot of that. We're gonna see a whole lot of that. But I think once this team kicks in and Arteta gets what he wants, it's gonna be mad. So I can see us playing the 2-3-5. You get me? Madness, madness. If it pops off, it's madness. And I think that happens because of Rice, because of Timber, and it allows to now talk about the front line. And even let's put our first summer signing Havertz in there, like no one and their mum and their dad and their granddad and their gurus and nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw this. I didn't hear nobody talking about it. It just out of the blue. Kai Havertz to Arsenal. Now, obviously this was done about 2 weeks ago, a week ago or so. And in that time, I do recall that last season, don't really talk too much about other teams except for the ones that we're chasing and the other ones that are in front of us. But I saw a lot of chances that he missed, because I'm not watching Chelsea like that. But everyone's been bringing up the stats and that, and you know, and thinking about where he's an Arsenal player now, so man's got to support him still. To say that, how can I put this? Obviously, when he was coming through, man rated him. The last couple of seasons, I haven't rated him. It's just more seeing the chances that he's missed and looking at it like the chances he's missed and how Chelsea have gone. You would have just put 2 and 2 together, but then someone was telling me at least he's getting the chances. Imagine if he tucked them away, but that's what I'm saying. I can't imagine because I see him miss. But he's an Arsenal player now. I'm going to support him. You get me? I trust Arteta. Like, I wanted Rice and anybody else. I did say if Arteta brings him in, I trust him. So, I trust Arteta. He wants Havertz, he's got Havertz. So now me trying to put him in, I think Rice will play the party role and he will play the Xhaka role. Because if I look at his goals over the last couple of seasons, where they're trying to play him a false nine, so he's arriving late in the box, a couple of headers, a couple of on the end of crosses. Xhaka kind of did that last season, so if he could come in and do that, that would be great. But it's the other stuff that Xhaka did. Can he do? Winning the second ball and stuff like that, because that's going to be important. Because if we're putting all of that on Rice, it's going to be mad. So when we are compact and defending into the transition into attacking, can he do that middle bit work there? That's going to be where man's going to have to judge him still. But as I said, I trust Arteta. This one was out of the blue. And the money-wise, I think there was a willingness from both clubs. Like, I'm hearing it's a structure thing. Like, so yeah, it's whatever, 70 odd mil or whatever, but it's installments and that. Like, so I think there was a big willingness from Chelsea also to make this happen. Why it's happened. So yeah, man, I'm gonna support him still, but 200 mil, 3 players, Arsenal. We have to talk about this, man. I think the trajectory of the club now is going in the right direction, from the owners to the management to the squads to the fans. Like, we have to we have to put the pressure on now, and it has to be positive. Like we can't say, for me. So let's say it like this. For me, top three minimum. We can't go lower than one position than we did last season, and we could only go up. So top three minimum, and this team has to win. The ownership, the club, even the manager. This is all that's missing is major honours now. And I think in the next 3 years, if they don't get that, if Arteta don't get a league title or a Champions League, it doesn't cement him as that up and coming youngster. You get me? Youngster manager. You get me? Same with this squad, like all the players that have signed their contracts and that. If we don't win nothing in the next 2 to 3 years, that means so this season, next season, and the season after, when it comes to renewing their contracts and that, if we're not winning, we're gonna have to start selling and holding on, and maybe need to change the manager, because I think this squad is good enough now with the players that we brought now. Compared to last season to this season, the players that we brought in and the squad that we've got right now, I think is good enough. You get me? And the pressure's on now. We've got to put that pressure on, and it's got to be positive. Like, it's got to be constructive. It can't be destructive. You get me? There is going to be ups and downs, but as I said, as long as it's top three, and I will take one or two, like the league and the FA Cup or League Cup, or Champions League and the FA Cup or League Cup. Like, I wouldn't be happy with top four and League Cup, FA Cup. I wouldn't be happy with that, because he's won the FA Cup already, and I think this team needs major honours. If we was to do that next season, and then the season after we go on to win the major honours, then yeah, fair enough. But for the short term, we need to win one of the major honours, and I mean the league or Champions League. And that's for everyone. That's for the players, that's for the manager, that's for the owners, you get me? And that's for us as fans. Like, that's what we should be expecting. And it'll be unrealistic to say, oh yeah, the double and the treble and all of that shit, because honestly, as an Arsenal fan, I've never seen us win back-to-back leagues. So to win I've never seen us do anything in Europe as well, like anything of solid thing, one final. Yeah, we always get into the knockout rounds. We haven't been there for the last 5 whatever years, but yeah, it'll be unrealistic for me to say yeah, back to back. We haven't even done back to back in my time. The minimum is challenging, and that's all I want to see. Later stages at all the cups, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, all the cups, and then the league to be up there or in and abouts. Come May and them times we might drop off, whatever, but we're still up there all through the season. Bare minimum is just challenging. That's all I expect as a fan, man. And I think we're holding out and we're doing right and we're going in the right direction, man. But yeah, Havertz signing. Our front line is kind of mad still, like. And as I talk about the front line, and we're talking about the club and the manager and the direction and that, I'm gonna go back to this playing squad now. And the front line, I'm gonna talk about the front line, then talk about the players and the assets I think we've got in the squad still. So front line, Saka on the right, Jesus down the middle, Martinelli on the left. I'm happy with that still. Like, if I was to constructively criticise that front line, I would say to Saka, need to get 20 now. 20 goals, 20 assists. Yeah, you need to up from last season. Jesus as well, like, you need to be hitting 20 if you're not going to be assisting and that. Like, I would want like 25 goals and 10 assists from you. And same with Martinelli, want 20 goals, 20 assists. Another thing with Martinelli as well, I think he needs to start playing with his head up a little bit. Learning to do that, slow it down, 1-2, make the runs in the right time. He's always running with his head down, you know. Sometimes I think that lets him down still. So just to improve on that. And then the backups I'm happy with. Like, I could see Trossard playing any one of those front three positions. So you could put him anywhere, but for the sake of it, we're going to put him on the left. And then on the right, we've got Reece. Now when we come in the middle, this way it gets a bit peak still because Nketiah, he's our second choice, I would say, but there's a clear difference between Nketiah and Balogun, like, and I mean it mentality-wise, like, as much as Eddie Nketiah saying he wants to be first team, he's just kind of whispering it, and he's like happy to be second choice, and when he gets a chance. But then Balogun's like, nah, I want to be number one. You get me? Why England, you're not playing me. I'm not waiting around. I'm gonna go to the US and be the star boy and the golden boy. You get me? He's not waiting around. He's like demanding that first team, feeling that mentality. But this is where he's an asset now, and what are we gonna do? He's not gonna be third choice. And even with Nketiah, like, so if we have those there, backup, Nketiah backup, I'll be okay with that. But come January, if he's not playing any games and he's not on like 7 goals or whatever, and he hasn't played at least like 15 starts, then I think he might have to go still. So if that's the case, should we be ruthless and do it from early? Because if we get rid of him and then make Balogun the second choice, I think it's more likely that he's gonna play, and then maybe he might, give Jesus a run for his money. Yeah, but then again, if we need money and stuff like that, I'll hold on Nketiah, and I think we'll get more money for Balogun. So it's mad there still. Like, I think being greedy almost, and like, if we was to go further in the transfer market, if we was to sell players and stuff like that, like, I will try and get rid of both of them, make whatever money, and get like a Mitrovic from Fulham. I think that would be a great number 2, like, and affordable. Because really, I would want someone like Tammy Abraham, but I think the injury plus this might give us another season, like for like 2-3 seasons. Like a Mitrovic would be great, because even like next season, if Harry Kane don't sign a new contract, bro, come to Arsenal. You get me? Do a Sol Campbell, like, come to Arsenal, win a couple of things in the last 3 years of your career, and then fuck off to America or even Saudi. You get me? Like, it's possible. You get me? Like, so are we gonna be ruthless? I doubt it. I think Arteta likes Eddie, and then even Rice talking about, yeah, we both got released, we played together. Like, that might even, you get me, motivate Nketiah. You get me? So let's see. I don't know what's gonna happen there, but him and Balogun, whichever happens, one of them go, one of them are second team, and then even earlier on I was talking about the midfielders, like Smith Rowe and Vieira. They could play on either side as well. So if they're not getting in the midfield, they could get on the bench and play. Because when I was talking about the shadow team, first team, second team, even the benches of those teams can still have 1 or 2 players that I haven't played, but they can play. So them man there can either play in midfield, the attacking mid rows, to more central, or they can play wide on either side. So I'll play Vieira on the right hand side, the Saka side, left footed, cutting in. He's not so strong, so being in the middle with all that congestion, going out there maybe 1 or 2 down the line, cross it, cut it in, take a shot, be good for him. And same with Emil Smith Rowe on the other side. So, but with Vieira and Lokonga, like, they're another assets I look at, because to be honest, they're like 23 and they haven't really played that much. Like, they're not like they're 21, 22, and it's like, yeah, they need to play games still. Like, they need to play a hell of games. So I don't know, maybe Vieira alone. Lokonga definitely get rid of, sure. I think that ship has sailed, man. We need some money. Yeah, we could shut those 2. So even like for a third front forward, Emil Smith Rowe, Balogun and Vieira, that could be an option, you get me? Because it's going to be a lot of games. The way Champions League format is changing as well. You get me? It's going to be a lot of games. So, but there's money there as well. We was talking about assets and that, there's money there. So up front we got Balogun, in midfield we got Vieira, Lokonga, even Patino, we don't know what's going there. I'd love for him to stick around, but if he goes, hopefully we get like a buyback clause or something in there. Like we can't just let him go, man. He's too sick. He's too sick. Like if he's willing, I want him to do like what we did with Saliba, 1, 2 more loans. Like stay half season, next half season go out on loan, next season do a full season loan, and then come back and then boom straight into the team. Will be a madness. I don't want us to get rid of Patino, but there is value there. So if we do need the money, that can happen there. And then we'll go to our back line that obviously Holden get rid of. Like, but getting rid free, terminate his contract, let him go for free. You get me? I was hearing Batista or something, 3.5 or something, them I rejected, they want a little bit, but get rid of him. You get me? Just let him go. And then the other one is Nuno Tavares. Boy, I see him like the Gareth Bale, but minus free kicks. Like this guy just needs to be a winger, man. You're not a good defender. Like just become a winger, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Play on the right hand side, cut in, cross it, bang it. Like you could do it. You get me? Forget the defensive. Like you're not a very good defender. You're still young. He can learn. You get me? But go to a team that plays 5 at the back. Be a wing back. You can't be a full back unless you learn how to defend. But I think he's worth about 30 million. I think we can get good money for him still. So there's some money there. Like there's money in defence, there's money in midfield, there's money up front. Like the club is in a whole different position. Like, and I don't think it was by accident. I think it was clear choices with a clear path. And man, them laugh at the names associated with these processes or phases, but we all use them because there's a lot of club in a process right now. But when Arsenal was in a process, everyone was laughing, and now we're using phases like Marvel, and that when phase 3 going into phase 4, like we can see it happening. So it's mad, man. We've been a good buying club recently. And we've been a very poor selling club, which is funny. We used to be a very good selling club, or not good, but we used to sell a lot. So I think we need to get the balance and make some right sales in the squad that we've got. Hopefully with a few more additions as well. But yeah, man, it's so good right now being Arsenal fan. I can't wait for the season to start. And as going back to Rice, like if he is a flop, like I'm saying it now, I'm gonna shave my beard for a whole season. I'm gonna stay whole season no beard, clean. I've got a bum chin, like that's how I grow this still. Yeah, but just to cover that bum chin there, you get me. So if Rice is a flop, I will shave my beard off. Do you get me? But yes, people, I'm gonna leave it there. We got about 20 days to the Charity Shield against Man City. So just before then, or on that day, be another video, people. So till then, peace.